We utilize statistical graphs to look for features that reveal some useful or interesting characteristic of the data set. We'll start by looking at scatterplots. A scatterplot is a plot of paired quantitative data paired as X and Y. So this is quantitative data. These are numbers that represent counts or measurements. And scatterplots are useful for determining if a relationship exists between these two variables X and Y. So let's look at an example. Say we want to construct a scatterplot using the data given below, and this data is from a study done to compare a student's body mass index, or BMI, with the student's active hours per week. So let's look at the data. Here we have the hours per week active. So for 10 hours per week, this is one student had 10 hours of active hours per week and a body mass index of 16. The next student had 3 hours active per week, they reported that, and had a body mass index of 25, and so forth. So let's look then at how this would look on a plot. So if we were to construct this plot, I would notice that my highest X value was, what, 14 down here at the bottom. So just to eyeball my horizontal axis, my X-axis of hours active, I knew I had to get to 14. I just kind of broke it up into thirds, 5, 10, 15. And then for my BMIs, they go all the way to 28. So I did that to 30, 5, 10 by 5s, 5 to 30. And then now plot the data on the graph. Okay, that's each data point as represented from the table onto the graph. And now, remember, we've got this quantitative data. These are numbers that represent counts, how many hours, or measurements. Body mass index would be a measurement. And we plotted that data on our scatter plot, and now we're looking for a trend. Is there a relationship between X and Y? And in this case, we see what we call a negative trend. A negative trend is as X increases, the more active hours per week, Y decreases. Body mass index appears to go down. So that's the relationship we see in this example. Let's look at another example. In this one, we have a study of the relationship between the age of an infant, that will be our X or horizontal axis, and the infant's weight. And so I don't have all that data this time. We just want to see how that plot would look. So age is along the X-axis and weight is along the Y-axis. And what we're seeing here is it appears that as X is increasing, Y is also increasing. This is different than what we saw last time. As X increased, Y decreased. So what we say here is we have a positive trend. Y is going up as X goes up. Positive trend. Let's look at another example. In this one, we want to see if there's a relationship between IQ scores of adults and their happiness ratings. Their reported happiness ratings. So here's a plot that might represent that. X is our adult IQs, and Y is that individual happiness rating. Remember, each point on here is one person, just like it was one baby, height, weight, age, weight. And this is one person, IQ, happiness rating. And what we see here as far as a trend is that there doesn't appear to be one. As X goes up, Y could be high or low. We don't really see what appears to be a positive trend or a negative trend. So we just say there appears to be no relationship between a person's IQ and how happy they might report being. So, in summary, we use a scatter plot to determine if there's a relationship between two quantitative variables.